can think.
I commend.
Now, how should I dispose of you? They sent you.
Follow my charge. Here is thunder! Was that it?
Time for a shot. That's better. Time to twirl!
There's no time to lose.
Let's go.
Naughty child. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much better.
What do you hit?
Conflict is pitiless!
Let's make it.
Show no mercy.
That'll take. Do you know who I... This big diamond! It's all yours!
Here is thunder!
That's better.
1,000 thanks.
Honored to meet me. Time to twirl!
Conflict is pitiless!
That'll take more than medicine. Now, just a little something. Think nothing of it.
1,000 thanks.
Let's go. Rules are made to be broken.
What are you looking at?
Here is thunder!
Time for a shot.
Show no mercy.
Let's make it quick.
Honored to meet me.
Just a scratch.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless!
That's it?
Keep at it. Keep at it.
Be honored.
Here is thunder!
Time to twirl!
This is our chance.
Are those monsters guarding the energy hub?
It seems like it. Strange. Fragmentum monsters would usually destroy man-made objects.
Did you hear that? This mechanism must be on now. Come on, let's find the next one. Where is the next mechanism? Oh, behind that gate.
There's no switch. We need to find a way around.
I've never seen such a desolate place. At least in Rivet Town, you could tell that people used to live there.
Rivet Town is only at the outstretched fingertips of the corrosion.
There's no conflict. It's pitiless.
Let's make it quick. Take this!
Time to twirl! Time. How Success! Another mechanism shut down.
I want to ask you a question. Do you still remember those dreams you mentioned to us? I know you're wide awake right now, but I need you to try. See if you can recall the voice you heard. Well? This is merely speculation, but perhaps the voice you heard is the Stellaron somehow conveying information to Cocolia. And the one in your body is resonating with the Stellaron on this world.
Huh? You mean that Stellarons can communicate? I've never heard that before.
Well, there's never been a human that could accommodate a Stellaron in their body.
Then, aren't we walking straight into a trap?
Yes. And Bronya may well be the bait.
Don Hung's speculations are usually right on the money. But even if we've guessed right, we can't go home now. There's no way back anyway. At least Cocolia won't catch us off guard now. So what if it's an ambush? We're not about to lose now. I have to save Bronya, beat Cocolia, and crush this Stellaron thing to dust.
Is that it?
Do you know who I am? Ever see a diamond this big? It's all yours! Time to twirl!
Rules are made to be broken.
Time to twirl! Maybe you can keep this down?
Let's make it.
Show no mercy.
Time to twirl!
Here is thunder.
Time to twirl! This big diamond, it's all yours!
Batter up!
All better now? How Oh, poor you. It's gonna hurt.
Conflict is pitiless.
Let's go.
Not favor the vigor of it.
More than that.
You must be up. Maybe you can keep it down? Time to twirl!
There's no time to lose. Here is thunder.
Much better. Let's make it quick.
What are you? Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours! Just a little something. Think nothing of it. How appropriate. You're in bad shape.
Rules are made to be broken. You're out! This is our batter up!
There's no time. Conflict is pitiless.
Time to twirl!
Let's go.
Time to twirl!
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Done! It took some effort, but we finally cracked these mechanisms.
We're one step closer to Bronya. Let's move!
Are these
Yes. The fragmentum here seems to have made a special connection with Cocolia. It's repeatedly generating forms in her image.
I don't understand. Even if the truth is as you say, every generation of Guardian has resisted the call of the Stellaron. Can all of them have been wrong, Mother?
Do you still not see, Bronya? There is no right or wrong here. Some of them acted out of human pride, others out of human short-sightedness. Our ancestors, including Elisa Rand, spent their whole lives trying to prolong this civilization. Then, after all fell still, their memories were scattered by the blizzard. They spent lifetimes writing songs of praise that lauded the bravery of humanity, but couldn't spare the time to gaze up into the stars. To those entities of greater magnificence in the heavens above, 1,000 years is but a passing moment. The attainments of insignificant beings, nothing more than a footnote. I shall not follow the Guardian's misguided steps down that blind alley of narcissism. If persistence is futile, then one must choose a new beginning.
But Klipoth, the Preservation, are they not one of the magnificent entities you speak of? Is it not their strength that has sheltered Belobog this entire time?
The Preservation. Has the Preservation ever looked humanity in the eye? Nothing more than an arrogant delusion of the architects. Oh, you will hear the real voice of magnificence, Bronya. Then you will understand my choice.
Check this place out. Tables and sentry posts? There must have been Silvermane guards stationed here once.
If there were, they left a long time ago. There might be valuable information here. Shame we don't have time to look for it.
Looks like another completely new monster.
Considering where we are, it would be surprising if we didn't run into strange enemies here.
I don't care how strange it is. It's blocking our way. Let's get it!
Was that it?
Judgment is here!
And you're supposed to be stronger? I won't break.
Take this!
Time to twirl!
For your sins!
Do you know who I am? Ever see a diamond this big? Oh, it's all yours! All better now? How appropriate.
Prayers won't help you.
Time for the Radiant Spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
Just a scratch.
You must be honored to meet me.
Back up!
1,000 thanks.
I'm okay.
Execute the judgment! Just a scratch.
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much better.
What are you looking at?
Here. This thunder!
Naughty children, don't all better now?
Much.
Time to twirl!
The redemption.
You must be honored to meet me. Maybe you can kick it down?
For your sins.
Let's go.
Take this!
Rules are made to be broken.
That'll take more than medic. Savor the vigor of it.
This enemy is completely different. If I didn't know it was a product of the fragmentum, I'd think we were fighting a human.
Unlike those random low-level fragmentum creations, this one seems to have a mind of its own. It seems to be able to use complex tactics.
Look, Bronya and Cocolia's echoes. They must have come through here. That means we must be really close, right?
I sense that we're very near to the northern snow plains.
This is where the first Guardian led the Silvermane Guards into battle. She made huge sacrifices for the sake of temporary respite. But the otherworldly Legion did not tire. She soon realized that flesh and blood could not contend with so ruthless an enemy. When all was nearly lost, she chose to set her sights on the Stellaron and made the first wish. As for what came later, you know as well as I.
So, the eternal freeze was a disaster brought about by a human wish?
Ironic, no? All the Stellaron did was answer humanity's call, and yet we kept its existence a closely guarded secret for centuries. Even going so far as to attempt to use it to control the Stellaron. Woeful. Laughable.
It?
Oh, something created using otherworldly technology. An inhibitor that a corporation from the old world and the architects attempted to use to house the Stellaron. Oh, I know you have many questions, my daughter. Be patient. Soon you will have all the answers.
Let's make it.
Time to twirl!
Just stretch.
Just a little something. Think nothing. How appropriate.
Here, there's thunder!
Time to twirl! Nap time. What are you looking at?
Conflict is hideous!
I'm breaking! Time to twirl!
That'll take more.
That's better. How?
Keep at it.
Upgrade configured.
I commend you.
The redemption. Hold your breath.
And you're supposed to be stronger?
Time for the master. Radiant spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
Do you know who I am? Ever see a diamond this big? It's all yours! Time to twirl!
Rules are made to be broken.
Here, there's thunder!
Retribution.
Follow my charge.
That's better. How appropriate. Just a little something. Think nothing. How appropriate.
Execute the giant.
There's no time. Conflict is hideous!
Time for a shot.
The redemption. Prayers won't help you.
Do you know who I... This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
Let's go.
Show no mercy!
Rules are made to be broken. That'll nap time.
Honored to meet me. That's better.
Much better.
I'm okay.
Let's make it quick.
For your sins.
Just a little something. Think nothing.
1,000 thanks.
Looks good.
Maybe you can keep it down?
Conflict is pitiless!
Time to twirl!
This is our chance.
Time to twirl! Savor the vigor of it.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
I commend you.
Burn away!
A well-matched opponent. Here is thunder!
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
At it.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Here comes the medicine.
Much obliged.
You won't get away. Rules are made to be broken.
A foregone conclusion. Conflict is pitiless. Time for them. Show no mercy.
That's better.
Much better.
Trifling.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much obliged.
Is that it? 1,000 thanks.
Perhaps you still don't. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Let's go. It'll take more than that. So this is defeat. You won't get away.
That'll take more than medicine. That's better.
1,000 thanks.
I'm okay. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
1,000 thanks. There's no time to lose.
Much
Follow my charge. Show no mercy. You long behind the lines.
Practice target?
Here, there's thunder!
You won't get away.
That'll... I have something for you. That'll take nap time. One step closer to the stars.
A well-matched opponent. Conflict is pitiless!
Let's go.
Time for an overhaul. Perhaps humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception. Time for a shot. Nap time.
There's no time to lose. Here, there's thunder!
You won't get away. This is our chance.
I have something for you.
Show no mercy. Trifling.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much better. Rules are made to be broken. Let's make it quick.
Naughty child.
Much better.
Conflict is pitiless!
I'm okay. Perhaps humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception. That'll take more than medicine. That's better.
Let's go.
Here, there's thunder! Thanks.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much better.
Conflict is pitiless! mercy.
Time for a shot. That's better.
Much better. Rules are made to be broken.
This is also the reward of trailblazing.
It's that shadow of hers again. But Bronya's isn't with her this time.
It's only a fragmentum illusion. Let's get a closer look. It feels like this echo is different from the others before.
Intruders.
Did she just speak?
You cannot approach.
Not good. March! Out the way!
The Stellaron.
Intruders! You go nowhere.
Are you sure this isn't the real her?
It may look like her, but the fragmentum can only create forged ears. Bring her down!
Let's make it quick.
Time for Here Comes the Medicine.
You are doomed to fail!
Conflict is pitiless.
Batter up! Much obliged.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
A world devoured by ice. The eternal freeze will bury you.
Combat is a series of precise machinations. Come one, come all.
Sinners, ready yourself for the judgment of eternal winter!
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much obliged.
There's no time to lose.
Savor the vigor of it.
Let's go.
Time for radiant spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
You won't get away!
Here, there's thunder!
All better now?
Much better. Batter up! Tremble before my power!
Is that it?
Naughty children, don't. Here comes the medicine.
That wasn't
Perhaps
that.
you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
Rules are made to be broken. I know that they promised.
She disappeared!
Those stairs. It's the only way forward.
Wherever they lead, it must be the end of the journey.
I don't want to get to the end so soon. I want my journey to go on forever.
This means that Bronya is up ahead. And so is the fate of the overworld and the underworld. It's all in our hands. Strange. I thought I'd feel nervous or afraid, but I don't. The only feeling I have is that none of this seems real.
To be honest, you never really get used to them. We always used to rely on Himeko and Mr. Yang.
The Express has traveled world after world. We are merely passing travelers, witnesses to part of a grander story. We invariably avoid getting drawn into turbulence that can decide the fate of a world. But there are always times when we have no choice but to act.
Or to put it another way, this is one heck of a first trailblazing expedition. You hit the jackpot.
I was about to bore you all with my gloomy reflections, but on second thought, not today. Adventuring with you guys by my side has made me feel like no obstacle is too big.
Right on! But you can say whatever you like. A good adventure shouldn't be full of rules and regulations. Helping those in need, befriending those worth counting on, and saving the world a few times along the way. It's freezing here. The blizzard's so fierce. The power from the Trailblaze path isn't enough to stop the cold.
It means that we're getting closer to the Stellaron, and the heart of the Eternal Freeze. trapped in amber.
I bet the Antimatter Legion forces never thought they'd be swallowed up by the Eternal Freeze when they invaded this world. Even in the ice, could these guys still be alive? I'm impressed you can still think up jokes right now.
Did the architects build this?
Very different from the uniform style of the buildings we saw in the city.
Does it look like the palm of a huge hand to you? If Cocolia threatens us by taking Bronya hostage...
We have to save her. The underworld... No. The entire planet relies on her.
No.
Do not resist, Bronya. Accept the common will.
No! I don't want this.
Look upon their promised future, Bronya. A world without poverty, without cold, without suffering. A world where people no longer have to pray like prisoners for survival. A world that we can guard for all eternity. 700 years ago, we tried and fought unceasingly, believing that the radiance of human nature could shepherd us towards rejuvenation. And to what end? A crushing defeat. Why, when faced with irrefutable strength, is our first thought always to resist? To cover our ears instead of hearing the call. It is the conceit and cowardice entrenched in the depths of human nature, so difficult to efface. Cast them aside. Break free of the chains that bind you. The Stellaron will lead humanity to evolve, and they will.
Your brainwashing ends here, you witch!
Zila?
You came. I thought the blizzards had entombed you.
You wish! We're not going down before you do. Bronya! I don't know what happened between you and them. Even if you explained it to me, I probably wouldn't understand all the crazy details. But there are two things I do know. One, these guys have come through hell to get here, to seal this Stellaron thing. And two, do you remember what I said? If anything happened to you, I'd save you. Do you understand? Even if the damage is done, even if you've completely forgotten our promise, then I'm just gonna have to knock you out and bring you back myself.
Zila. All of you.
Finished? I think I've given you long enough to bid farewell. It's time I told you my other reason for bringing you here, Bronya. I want to witness your choice. I have told you all the truths there are to tell. The deal with the Stellaron, the wish I made to it. There are no more secrets between us. Many years ago, the voice of the Stellaron sounded in my ears for the first time. I was no different from the previous generations of Guardians. I withdrew, refused to hear. I was as you are now, bitterly defending the architect's so-called preservation. My conviction was once steadfast, unparalleled. Until a sudden change arrived and threw everything into chaos. Another choice appeared before me. A subversion of the old order, and the welcoming of a new world. And compared to the illusory, ever more distant preservation, this was so tangible. I have agonized, long agonized over how to convey all this to you. Inevitably, the promised tomorrow will transpire. But if you were not there beside me to watch over that new world, I would descend into torment. Bronya. Enduring torment. Perhaps I should be thanking you, outsiders. The pressure you have imposed has at long last compelled me to confront my final weakness. Bronya, throughout your life, I have never forced you to submit to my will. You will always have a choice. As then, so now. Choose, my daughter.
Madame Cocolia, I am grateful to you for raising me and for allowing me the privilege of choice. But I am sorry, Mother. On this, our final occasion, I cannot stand with you. You say that conceit and cowardice lie in the depths of human nature. Perhaps you're right. Desperation sheds a light on the darkest recesses of the heart. What about those simply struggling for survival, fighting for something better? I've witnessed their light on the front lines, in the underworld, in places you have overlooked. Our ancestors built this city, striving in the bitter snow to prolong our civilization. Even if this world is doomed to fall apart, we should allow humanity to pave the way to its final outcome. Not hand over our fate to the seed of ruin. We are guardians, Mother, chosen from among the masses. Our duty is to preserve the world built by humanity. We are not gods. We are not arbiters. You seek to crush human nature underfoot while masquerading as an arbiter and a god. I cannot let you.
So, this is your choice. I understand, Bronya. Pity. Such a pity that you will never see that resplendent world. Unable to free yourself from the shackles of your mind. You know what? You were supposed to be the mother of the new world.
The ground! It's shaking! What's happening?
That sign!
The fate of this city, of Belobog, is sealed. Its future will unfold in our hands. And you will become the foundation of the new world. You must break the old to build the new. The Supreme Guardian commands you! Rise, engine of creation!
It's one of the architect's ancient machines! Watch out, all of you! That's 1,000 times bigger than Svarog.
Follow my charge.
Engine! Break them!
We have to stop it!
That'll take more than medicine. Savor the vigor of it.
Time for a detailed overhaul. That one, come on.
You won't get away!
Is that it? Here. This thunder!
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
Let's go. You won't get away! Just a scratch.
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Much better.
Conflict is pitiless!
How can we bring a giant like this down?
Time for a shot. You're in bad shape.
Combat is a series of precise machinations.
Here comes the medicine.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
Rules are made to be broken. One at a time! You won't get away!
A foregone conclusion. Here. This thunder!
All better now?
Much obliged. Batter up!
Hello? Can you hear me? Because the signal's terrible. Himeko! You finally spared a thought for us.
What are you talking about? Welt and I've been up on the street you the time. You've got quite the trailblazing mission on your hands. So, how does that guy work? Or, importantly, how do you stop him from working? Over to you guys, I guess.
I'll cover you!
Grab hold of me!
behold the power granted by them! Listen to the power surge! Sing! The Stellaron's promise is the only hope for this world. Just as it dispelled the Antimatter Legion 700 years ago, so too will it wipe you from the face of this world! Stay alert.
Just a scratch.
Let's make it quick. Let's go. Rules are made to be broken. Humanity, so weak and foolish, always overestimating their abilities. Let me bestow upon you despair!
Is this the universe? But I was fighting Cocolia. Why am I here? The last time I came here, I drew Nanook's gaze. Could it be?
The commercial district has fallen. We've transferred the residents to the outer municipal districts for the time being. The garrison lost 26 fighters. But
Go on, Japard.
I'm not sure that they're dead. I saw their broken figures lingering in the fragmentum. What happened back there defied all reason. It was madness. Madam Guardian, if this continues...
I know well the consequences, Japard. You may leave.
We know well the consequences.
Why do you hesitate, Cocolia? Isn't this what you've always been hoping for? Get out of this cage and take a look at the city. What is there to lose? The efforts of our predecessors, their unfinished research. We can finally see them come to fruition. Give me some soldiers and I'll locate the Stellaron and find out how to save our world.
You need to come to your senses, Serval.
Come to my senses? What are you...
Guards! Miss Serval is tired. Take her to rest. Sequester her lab and detain the researchers. Their work is illegal.
Why, Cocolia? Why have you grown so cold?
Serval Landau, you were my most cherished friend.
There is no place nor place from this new world.
Madam Cocolia, the monsters are surging this way. It's too dangerous here.
Foolish. Weak.
What? Madam, what are you saying?
Only I only I can understand. They have eyes that do not see, ears that do not hear. Feast on their willful ignorance! Absolve them of their stupidity and fear!
Mother, I still don't understand. The fragmentum corrosion has already spread to the underworld. How will those below ground fend for themselves if we withdraw every guard?
The automatons will ensure their safety. The most important defensive position is here on the surface. If our lines crumble, the underground will vanish in an instant. Our defenses here must be maintained at all costs. These are the choices we make, Bronya. As a leader, you must harbor the courage and foresight to choose. You, me, and every Silver Mane guard in the city, all of us must carry out a higher mission. There will come a day when you must make your own choice. Do you understand?
Higher mission?
It is too early, Bronya. Still too early. You will understand when the time is right.
The city is drowning in tears. The power of the preservation is fading. We could not defy the will of the Stellaron after all. Ah, a believer, I see. The fragmentum had been expanding for the past 700 years. There is no faith nor wealth left for our successors. Only despair. To see the home we vowed to preserve wither away. That in itself is torture. Not to mention the haunting whisper of temptation. The day will come when even the strongest of wills cannot help but give in to such influence. It is only a matter of time before the Amber Lord forsakes us. You are but a stranger to us. And yet you seek to bond your destiny to ours. So be it. What is there to lose when so much has already been lost? Touch the light of the Amber, Trailblazer. See if your will can attract their gaze.
time to lose. Conflict is pitiless.
Naughty children, don't listen.
Much obliged.
Someone, come on. Lance at the ready.
Follow my charge. Here is thunder!
Time for a shot. Now time.
Combat is a series of precise machinations.
You will not take away our home.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens. And I'm no exception.
You won't get away. Time to go. On the offensive.
Naughty children, don't listen. Savor the vigor of life.
Time for a detailed overhaul.
Someone, come on.
Time for radiant spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
I'm on guard.
Here comes the medicine.
Conflict is pitiless.
The Stellaron changes everything. Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward! Lance at the ready. Fracture!
There's no time to lose. Here is thunder!
Time for a you're in bad shape.
Time for the old world to collapse!
Savor the vigor.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless.
I'm on guard. To the finish.
Is that it? 1,000 thanks.
Not a scratch. A brave new world. Lance at the ready. Indestructible.
Here comes the medicine.
Nice teamwork.
You will not take away our home.
Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward!
to the radiant spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
Defend the weak.
The power of the Stellaron is with me!
We made a choice, go
You are
fight
but
against
cinders
your
of the
foe.
old world! Soon
Pain will come with the pain. Pain will wake up the dead.
be the architect of a new world!
Naughty children?
Go the path!
Time to go on the offensive. Indestructible.
The only redemption.
There's no time to lose.
Choice, go fight against your
Savor the vigor.
I will be the architect of a new world!
That it? Conflict is pitiless. Time for the radiant spirit. Heed my word. Show no mercy!
You're in batch. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
I'm on guard. Lance ablaze. Flaming lance. Forward!
Go the path!
Naughty children, savor the vigor.
This Stellaron promised us the future. It will engulf everything!
It's over.
Mother, did you wake up from that dream?
Wow. That was a tough trailblazing expedition. We made it! But, what are we gonna do with the Stellaron? It's usually Mr. Yang who handles it.
I've informed Himiko and Mr. Yang already. They'll seal the Stellaron.
Nice! The crisis on this world is basically over, right?
The storm still rages on. Now that the Stellaron is sealed, the eternal freeze will slowly recede. Fragmentum won't aggressively expand anymore, but nor will it disappear. Urilo 6 has a chance to return to life. but it will take time. It will depend on the efforts of the people here.
Thank you. All of you. This victory is only the beginning for Belobog. There is still much to do. The people will have felt the effects of the engine of creation. There are so many questions to answer, so many truths to reveal. I don't know whether I can get the people to accept all this. Can I really do that? Tell everyone about Mother's true motives? About a lie perpetrated for 700 years?
No. No. No way.
Seele.
I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think there's any other way. In the underworld, we tell the kids, things will be better tomorrow. Everyone knows it's a lie, but it gets them to sleep with some hope. Can you imagine the consequences if we told the people what happened here? They'd be devastated. If we can't trust the Guardians, who or what can we trust?
Mother died to preserve Belobog.
What?
The visitors from beyond the sky told her the secret of the Stellaron. She knew that Alyssa Rand, the first Supreme Guardian, had failed to destroy it. And yet, she decided to challenge its power, a power beyond human comprehension. Supreme Guardian Cocolia sacrificed herself to dispel the dark clouds enveloping this city. From here on out, that's the truth the world will hear. What do you think?
It keeps the hope of preservation alive, at least.
It's logical, and hard to disprove.
Why do we have to lie? I'm abstaining. I like telling the truth. But I get what you're trying to do.
Sorry. I'll be sure to make it up to you. For many people, Mother was an outstanding guardian. The whole truth will live on in my mind. All the mistakes, madness, evil, dreams therein. I will be the one to carry that burden. Now, I must take over the duties of the Supreme Guardian and discard my naive fantasies. I'm sorry, Seele. Please, protect this secret with me till the end of our lives.
Say no more. I know what to do.
Thank you. Well then, as promised, let's start rebuilding the bridge between the overworld and the underworld. Seele, can you tell everyone in the underworld that the Stellaron has been sealed? And tell them the blockade will soon be over, and they will breathe freely again soon.
Of course. Leave it to me. Nat's probably getting anxious about the delay.
While you do that, I'll head back to the administrative district. I need to tell Jabard and serve.
Are you okay?
What's wrong, Bronya? Do you feel sick?
I'm fine. I need to hurry.
She's exhausted. Quick, we need to think of something. You, help me out here.
Right. I almost forgot. You're still wanted by the guards. I might be an underworlder, but at least I don't stand out as much as you guys. That's settled then. I'll leave not to you. Remember to keep the secret. For Brun... No. For Belobog's sake.
So, wanna tell us what happened back there? Don't think you can just reappear on the battlefield with a cool weapon in your hands and skip the story. You drew the Amber Lord's gaze? Right at that moment? That's too much of a coincidence.
She probably doesn't know what happened either. This wouldn't be the first time. Something similar happened when we faced the Doomsday Beast on the space station. Remember that glance from Nanook? Originally, we thought it was because the Stellaron was linked to the destruction. But now it seems to be more than that. You might need to speak with Mr. Yang to understand what's going on. Let's focus on the business at hand first. We shouldn't disrupt Himiko and Mr. Yang while they're dealing with the Stellaron. Let's talk once we're back on the Express.
You're right. We need to finish what we started. Let's hurry up and find Natasha.
Are you alright? Are you hurt anywhere? Do you feel dizzy, tired, or...
I don't know, Zila. I feel... cold all over.
Isn't that normal? This place is freezing.
Oh, let's get out of here before you catch a cold too.
Don't worry, I'm a tough cookie. Here, hold on to me. Let's go.
Look, there's a big crowd around the clinic. Do you think they felt the effects of the battle just now? Let's go ask around.
Clocking off, finally.
You! Hey, you! Stop! You are now a conscript of the moles. I, Julian of 1,000 faces... Wait, it's not the time for this. We got trouble. The boss went to the Great Mine along with her Diggertron. And she refused to let anyone go with her. I feel like she's doing something dangerous. You have to go check on her for us. Diggertron is Diggertron. As long as the boss has it with her, you can expect a good fight. Fursman is in the mines. It seems like the boss heard some bad news about him and then just ran in there. There's lots of bad guys in the mines. Miss Natasha said kids ain't allowed to go in. Go check on her for us now. He's Hook's daddy, and he's like a daddy to everyone in the moles. He's like a great person. Thank you. Please hurry!
Clocking off, finally. Clocking off, finally.
Natasha! Oleg! Hope you didn't have to wait too long.
Oh, it's them.
You kids move fast. By the look on your faces, I assume you come bearing good news?
Mm-hmm. You bet. You might not believe this, but we summoned up all our strength and then... maybe she should do the talking. I'm no good at serious stuff. I'll probably say something I'll regret.
The Supreme Guardian sacrificed herself to seal the Stellaron. We were there at the fight, and we witnessed everything.
Sacrificed herself, huh? Sure, yeah, that's the whole story.
Cocolia, in order to save Belobog, she... I see.
So the massive tremors we felt earlier were a result of the battle, right?
Thank you. I can't even imagine what you've been through up there. I'm just glad everything turned out all right. What about Zila?
Don't worry, she's all right. It took a big toll on Bronya, so Zila took her over to the guards.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you're all okay.
Now that Cocolia's no more, I guess our Silvermane girl is about to become the next Supreme Guardian? She sees things through and doesn't go back on her word. The underworld will thrive again under her watch.
Oh, we brought you a message from Bronya. The blockade will soon be lifted. The people of the underworld will breathe freely.
Breathe freely. That's been our wish all along. March, Donhung, and you, can I ask for your help again? I want to get this news out to everyone. It'll lift their spirits and bring them hope. Thank you. Choose whoever you like. Wildfire will take care of the rest.
We've gotten to know a lot of underworlders. Who do you think we should start with?
Roger that. You can leave the rest to us. If everything goes smoothly, this should be Wildfire's final mission.
Do you think the Great Mine was affected by our fighting on the surface?
Let's hope we didn't cause a collapse.
Oh, look, it's Antonia! The miners and vagrants are all in the same spot. I sure hope they're not arguing again. Quick, let's head over.
Calm down, calm down. We're all here to work for a living. Why not sit down and talk it out?
Save it! We treated you as our leader, but look how you treated us.
Such a rat!
You sold the intel about the vein to Antonia, but we discovered it first. Now we lost the mine, and we have to work for those guys.
Traitor!
Well, nothing to say for yourself, huh? So you admit that you sold the intel to the mining team?
Go away, you brutes! Don't bully my daddy!
Oh, little hook? Oh, no, you have it wrong. It's your daddy who bullied us first. Ask him if you don't believe me.
Daddy?
Yes, I told Antonia about the vein, but I was the first one to discover it. I have the right to do anything with it.
It's only because you have that detector. Let's see who's boss when we take it from you.
Back off. I was thinking about the bigger picture when I did that. Unlike you all who just look for trouble every day.
Well, I think someone needs to teach you a lesson. Guys, get him!
You'll never lay a finger on Daddy without passing through Hook. It's you! Come and help Hook!
Another punching bag? Fine by me. I'll kick all your butts!
Conflict is pitiless!
Time for a shot nap time.
Combat is a series of precise Lance at the ready. To the finish.
Oh, look, it's Antonia. Daddy, are you hurt?
Just a few scratches. How about you, Hook?
Don't worry about me. I have Diggertron. No one can hurt me.
Good. That's good. And you, young lady, are you hurt? Thank you for your help. I remember. You are the outsiders Natasha mentioned before, right? I heard that you helped resolve some conflicts around the mines when you arrived. And again today, when you saved my life. What a noble young spirit you have. Thank you very much.
Daddy, let's go to the old witch's clinic. You're seriously hurt.
But the vein detector that rapscallion was after, somebody already stole it from me. I need to keep searching, otherwise I might never see it again. It's just a tool. I guess I should let it go. Let's head to the clinic.
Here, take it. I'm afraid we're short on goods and materials right now.
Oh, well, we actually have enough for the moment. You hang on to it.
Hey, are you guys causing trouble again?
It's you! Oh, no, you misunderstand. There was a huge quake at the mine just now. Part of it collapsed. If the vagrants here hadn't stopped to help, I doubt we'd have gotten everyone out in one piece. I was just discussing how to repay them. It's a shame the mining team's hard up right now.
Can't we get Bronya to cover the bill? Can we focus? Tell them the good news already.
Whoa. You mean to say that we're about to be reunited with the overworld?
Are you serious? This has gotta be a dream. Good things don't happen to us.
Today they do. And you're not dreaming. If you don't believe us, pinch yourself.
If things go back to the way they were 10 years ago, then the mining team can finally escape this poverty. And you won't have to rely on the charity of others. We'll finally be living with the dignity we deserve. Thank you, outsiders, from the bottom of my heart. The mining team will remember you as heroes, as will the rest of the underworld. Please tell Natasha that we're ready to get back to work. If the cable car station can start operating again, we'll dispatch a mining representative to negotiate with the architects.
Mr. Yang put it nicely, but the reality is this. We sealed the Stellaron, but that's not gonna solve the problems on this planet. There I was getting excited to tell everyone the good news.
That's the cruelty of a Stellaron. Still, compared with some of the other planets we visited, at least this one has hope.
So, should we tell everyone the deal?
We should tell Bronya when the time's right. Let's not dampen the spirit just yet.
It's getting late. Where to now?
I've taken care of your wounds. I'm running short on medical supplies these days, though, so behave yourselves and stay away from trouble. You hear me? Don't pretend you didn't hear that, Hook. I'm talking to you.
Hook wasn't the one that caused trouble. It was those bad guys. We were just defending ourselves. And ask her. See?
You are gonna spoil that kid. That's enough for now. I'll say this one last time, Hook. If you cause any trouble again, I'll take Diggertron away. Do you understand?
Hook understands.
The boss of the moles should stick to her word. I have patients to take care of. See you later.
Thank you again. If it weren't for you and Dr. Natasha, Hook and I probably would have been in big trouble. Well, a few days ago, I found a geomarrow vein using a vein detector, and I sold this info to Antonia, a supervisor of the mining team. Then, those vagrants heard about it and accused me of being a traitor. They believe that since I'm also a vagrant who came from another mine and ended up in here for a living, I should naturally be on their side. The mining team could not agree with that, of course. I'm just too old for this.
Daddy? Are we short on money? Why did you do that?
My poor child. Daddy is old now. Who knows how long I can stay by your side? I have to start preparing for your future. People say I'm selfish, think I'm a traitor, but it doesn't matter to me. All you need to know is when I'm gone, you will have the money to take care of yourself and survive on your own.
Daddy.
Forget about it. Since I've got the money from the mining team, I have nothing to complain about now. It's just a shame that I lost my vein detector. It was indeed a treasure. I guess so. It's an ancient relic that can detect geomarrow veins. It's very rare. I haven't seen a second one in my life. I often carried it around looking for a new claim. I suppose some villains must have taken notice. Anyway, I guess I don't need the detector anymore. The less trouble, the better. I shouldn't care who stole my device. Whoever it was, I hope they get good use out of it.
Hook seems to be giving me a look that says, Hook wants to talk to you outside the clinic, now. So that's why people call eyes the windows to the soul.
Oh, is everyone all right? Thanks for your help. I'm flattered. now we just have to wait for the official news. I hope Bronya doesn't keep us too long.
Huh. Do you think Svarog and Clara felt the effects of our battle with the Guardian?
I think they'll be fine. Plus, Svarog's devotion to Clara is even greater than his hostility to Wildfire. If you're worried, you could look for them over at the robot settlement.
Wait! Hook needs you to help with something. Yes! We can't just stand by and do nothing. That detector is Daddy's treasure, so I gotta get it back. You'll help me, won't you? Alright then. I'll be waiting for you at the shelter in the mine, big sister. See ya! Too slow, honorary member of the mold. You should have gotten here before Hook. Let me introduce you to Sweta. She is Daddy's most trusted miner.
Not at all. Mr. Fursman trusts every vagrant, and every one of us trusts Mr. Fursman. But after what happened over at that Geomarrow vein, the atmosphere at the shelter became a bit tense.
I'm here to find Daddy's treasure, his vein detector. I heard that someone stole it. Is that true?
Well, I would guess that's probably true. After the conflict in the mine, Wildfire gathered everyone out of the shelter and took a head count to check on the wounded. 4 people were not there. When we returned to the shelter, Mr. Fursman's detector was gone. We searched all around the shelter but found nothing. I guess one of those 4 people was the thief. Indeed. Now we can narrow down the scope of our search considerably. We vagrants have our dignity too. I'm sure we will catch the thief, but...
But... what?
Actually, we've already asked those 4 suspects about it. But they all claim to not have stolen anything. Of course, we could never expect thieves to confess and turn themselves in, right? In my opinion, one of those 4 was lying. Doesn't seem likely. All 4 suspects are at the shelter. If you're feeling confident, why not give it a try? Maybe you can determine who the thief is.
Adults are so dishonest. Hook's gonna question them one by one. Did you steal Daddy's detector?
Nope. I'm no thief.
Really? Then you better answer our questions honestly.
Ask away. Let's not waste time. Spacing out. Didn't notice anything. Good man. But a bit of a cheapskate. Nope. What detector?
Hey, would you mind talking more nicely?
What? I always talk like this.
I don't feel like she's the thief. Well, it's the hunch of Pitch Dark Hook the Great.
Hook? What's the matter?
Did you steal Daddy's detector?
What? Oh, if I'd known I would become a suspect, I wouldn't have gone out at that time. How foolish of me. Of course not. I didn't do anything wrong.
We just need you to answer a few questions.
Okay. Ask away. It would be good to clear myself of suspicion. Nothing special. I just went out to get some fresh air. Oh dear. I know that's a lame alibi, but I swear it's the truth. Mr. Firstman, he's a good person. Though... Oh, never mind. Oh, no. I must sound very suspicious, but I really didn't do anything. You have to believe me. Detector? No, I haven't seen anything, and I don't know anything. Is that all the questions you have? Have I proven my innocence? Oh dear. All this waiting around is enough to make me even more anxious.
Well. What's this? Playing detective, are we?
Spill it! Did you steal my daddy's detector?
You little brat. How dare you label me a thief? Someone needs to give you a good lesson on manners. I'm an honest and decent man. I'd never do such a shady thing.
Anyone can say that. If you really didn't steal anything, then just answer our questions.
Oh, you have a temper, huh? All right, I'll spare a couple minutes for your little detective game. I'm a cook. What else would I be doing? Don't you notice the smoky cooking smell all over me? It's just that I happened to be out shopping for ingredients at that time. Otherwise, who'd want anything to do with this kind of thing? That old Fursman was kind to me. When we were at Rivet Town, he put me in charge of the whole mining team's food supply. And it's because I trusted him that I came to this mine with him. I mean, I didn't expect he would take that money for himself. Anyway, he found that geomarrow vein by himself, so I won't blame him for not sharing. But you know, what he did was not like the old Fursman I knew. Well, I don't want to be a snitch, but out of my respect for Fursman, I'll tell you a secret. The helper over there, I saw him sneak into Fursman's tent and come out holding a box. See? Isn't he the most suspicious one? I don't care if you believe me or not. I've told you all I know. Now leave me alone if you don't have any more questions. I'm busy.
Did you steal Daddy's detector?
What? How could you say that? You're gonna make me angry. You know what a businessman values the most? Reputation. If your slander ruins my reputation and harms my business, you'll pay for that.
Well, then answer our questions. We'll decide if we believe you or not.
I have the right to remain silent. I withhold my opinion toward this question. No comment.
Ugh, you... I'll give you one more chance. Think carefully and give your answer to Diggertron this time.
I've seen all sorts of things in my life. Why would I be afraid of you two little rascals? Here, how about we make a deal? I'll tell you what I know in exchange for a small intel service fee. Fair and honest. Great. I like your style. Customers who don't fuss over the price are the best. So what do you want to know? Ask away. I went into town to restock. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? I restock on a regular basis, everyone knows that. I was wondering why there was nobody at the shelter. Versman is an old customer of mine. He's pretty nice to me, though we are not so close. As to what he did about that Geomero vein, it was kind of unethical. We're all neighbors. We've known each other for a long time. But he sold out to the other side and left his own people out to dry. I really can't agree with that. Look, the cook is definitely the thief, I'm sure about that. I value my reputation more than anything, so you can trust me. In my line of work, I've learned to read people. And something's definitely fishy with that cook. I could tell from the start. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone.
Hook's head is spinning. Do you remember everything they said?
Don't worry, I've written it all down for you. Remember, among these 4 people, only the real thief would lie. The cook said the helper did it. The tailor said it wasn't her. The merchant said it was the cook, and the helper said it wasn't him. So, do you know who the culprit is?
I think the cook and merchant are the most suspicious. My gut tells me that one of them is the culprit. But don't worry. Even if you choose the wrong one, Pitch Dark Hook the Great has other ways to uncover the true culprit.
Right. We have other methods besides deductive reasoning to find out who the true thief is. Let's just examine what they've said first to decide. The cook said the helper did.
I don't know why, but I'll trust your judgment. Come on, let's go accuse the culprit. Huh? Where's the cook? Where did he go?
Beats me. I saw him running out in quite a panic.
Ah, that guy has to be guilty. Where is he running off to? Oh yeah, I saw Mr. Sampo on the way to the mine when I came here. Could he be involved in this? Follow Hook! Mr. Sampo should be that way! Mr. Sampo's always at the clinic hanging around Miss Natasha. Hook thought he was really sick or something. If he's working with the thief, then he's also a bad guy!
My friend, are you serious? This device is quite rare. Are you really willing to sell it to me at such a low price?
No, why are you making this so complicated? Do you want it or not? Just tell me.
You two stop right there! Pitch Dark Hook the Great has arrived!
Just doing a little business. What's all the fuss? Oh boy, I knew it was too good to be true. I gotta make this clear. I have nothing to do with this fella. You have to trust me. Miss Hook, please, don't point that thing at me. It's scary.
Hey, how can you sell me out like that? We had a deal.
You stole Daddy's treasure! Diggertron will not spare you.
This is all that old Versman's fault. Just because he has this device I'm holding, he can make a fortune. It's not fair.
Well, it seems you guys have some issues to sort out, so maybe I should leave.
The heck if I care? With the underworld in such a sad state, how are we supposed to survive if we don't resort to robbing and stealing? Anyway, I got the device now. Come take it, if you have the guts.
Diggertron, get ready.
Here, this thunder!
Not a scratch.
I favor the vigor of it.
Combat is a series of precise mechanisms. Come one, come all. Time to go on the offensive. Ha! You won't get away!
You're in bad shape.
You sure talk tough for someone who can't fight. Come on, hand the detector over to Hook. Huh? No, Daddy's treasure! It's broken!
Hey! Now this is Sampo's time to shine. Of course! I wouldn't want to miss out on seeing you and Miss Hook's acts of heroism, would I? Listen here. There's a fellow in Bouldertown they call Balloway the Miner's Lamp. He's an appraiser. Although he claims that he doesn't do appraisals anymore for ancient relics, he actually still does a bit behind the scenes for ones that are of especially high value. I think this device of yours is probably worth a lot. It might be a good idea to try your luck with Balloway. Here's a trick. First, pretend that you want to sell it for a low price, then wait for him to excitedly fix the device for you. After it's fixed, tell him you changed your mind and you want to keep it for yourself. This business tactic is what I call a bait and switch. Pretty clever, huh?
Balloway the Miner's Lamp. Got it. Thanks, Mr. Sampo. Let's go into town to find him.
Have a safe trip!
I see Gertie. But who's that lying on the ground? Quick, let's head over.
Oh my, this doesn't look good. Can you hear me? Are you okay?
He's still breathing. Try not to panic on Gertie.
Is everything okay? Wait, isn't that Peak? Don't tell me he fell asleep in the middle of the road again.
Oh, it's you three. Back in the underworld so soon? Word must have gotten out that I was renovating the hotel today. Being the kind-hearted young man that he is, Peak came straight over and offered to help. There we were, hard at work, when all of a sudden the hotel started shaking. I got everyone outside as fast as I could, but I think Peak was hit by a ceiling tile.
Oh, look. Seems like he's coming around.
Huh?
Oh.
Peak, are you awake? Oh, thank goodness you're all right. Easy now. Take your time.
Oh, my back. Oh, I was having such a great nap. How did I...
Are you okay, bro? Let me take you to Natasha's clinic.
Hey, look where he was lying. What is that?
It's an old photo. I thought I lost this ages ago. How did it get...
Aunt Gertie, isn't that you in the photo? And old Goethe, too. You look so young.
Don't I know it? My distant cousin had only just taken over the family business at the time. He wrote me a letter inviting me to head up and take a look. It's been nearly 20 years already. I remember chatting in the hotel lobby and drinking tea. I wonder if we'll ever get another chance to do that.
You know, we've got some good news for you, haven't we?
Is that true? Bronya, she... I can't believe my ears. I don't know what to say. Turns out things aren't always lost forever. It feels like better days are finally on the horizon. Thank you all so much for coming to tell me the good news. I haven't felt like this in a long time. We'll get plenty of guests staying at the hotel again once the passageway is open. But there's no way I'm letting them set eyes on this old place looking like this. Oh, and we're gonna need to expand the menu. Oh, dear. Action stations!
Action stations? Already? My head!
Please, let Dr. Natasha know not to worry. We're all okay. You three will have to come and stay again once the hotel is fully renovated.
I'm already retired from appraising ancient relics, so unless this detector is some kind of precious treasure...
Look at this! The detector's probe broke off. Can you fix it?
Oh, ho ho, this certainly is a rare relic. Let me take a closer look.
Yes! Look extra close. You have to help Hook fix it.
This device... I've been in the business for a long time, but never have I seen an ancient relic like this one before. I think this is probably beyond repair. But still, it is a rare treasure. Even broken, I'd be willing to pay a high price for it. What do you say? The detector's probe is gone. It's like searching for something without eyes or ears. Who's going to want a pile of junk? I don't believe any other stores will buy it off you. Come on, I'll give you a nice deal.
All right then, let's go find Daddy.
Where have you been, Hook? I was just about to go looking for you. Come on, let's go home. I'll cook some salt-baked rock crabs for you. What's wrong with this kid? Vein detector? The one I lost?
Big Sister and Hook helped Daddy catch the thief that stole it. But Daddy's detector is broken. It's all my fault. If only I could have found it sooner.
So it was stolen. You're not hurt, are you, Hook?
I'm fine. Daddy, can you see if your detector still works?
The geomarrow probe is damaged. I'm afraid this thing won't work anymore.
I'm sorry, Daddy. I didn't help one bit.
What are you apologizing for? Thank you so much for looking out for me, Hook.
But Daddy's treasure...
Don't cry, Hook. Daddy's true treasure has been here all along. It was never lost or broken.
You can cry.
The detector helped me find lots of geomarrow veins, and it saved the mining team a lot of money. In that respect, it was a very good thing. But at the end of the day, the detector is just a tool. A true treasure must have irreplaceable importance to someone.
Doesn't really understand.
That's okay. I'm saying some things that might seem strange, but you will understand someday.
So, the treasure Daddy's talking about
is still happily running and jumping around.
Daddy! You're not allowed to see her cry! Go away!
Outsiders. Friends of Clara.
How did you know that was Perkins?
Thank you for rescuing Clara.
Seems like Perkins picked up a stammer.
Its language module must have malfunctioned. Can you take us to Clara?
Outsiders are friends of Clara. Follow me.
You have visitors, Clara.
Oh, it's the variables. Are you trying to start another fight?
There was a huge shaking just now coming up through the ground. Mr. Svarog said it must have been...
Recalculating. Conclusion. Engine of creation. 97.66% probability. The engine of creation was an immense construction machine created by the architects. It was not built to fight.
Well, whatever. We won. Thanks to that giant robot, we were finally able to take care of the Stellaron. And Bronya made a promise. The underworld and the overworld will soon be reunited. Which means that you, Svarog, you won't have to worry about preserving the underworld for the time being.
March, everyone, thank you so much. I wasn't sure you guys would be able to do it, but now... Mr. Svarog, what do you say? You guys said you were travelers from other worlds, right? I want to be just like you. One day, I'm gonna go traveling to faraway places and make new friends.
Calculation result. Update. Mission number 0001. Preserve the underworld. Complete.
That's our Bronya! Quick as a flash!
She certainly moves a lot faster than some people I know.
If you haven't got anything nice to say right now, zip it!